Week 2 preview, college football. We're going to jump right into it. Before that, subscribe down below, comment, leave a like, whatever you want to do, but subscribe. But we're going to jump right into it. It's a Week 2 preview. Week 1 has already come and gone. It's flying by. We only have 13 more weeks, ladies and gentlemen. It's sad already. I'm starting to think about the end, and it's not even close, really, but it kind of is. But be happy that we have Week 2 right in front of us. We're jumping right in. We got game previews, picks, voicemails, blank of the week. We're jumping right in. It's none other than Michigan Wolverines at the Oklahoma Sooners. This is the only place we could have possibly started. It is the biggest game of the weekend. There is no other game really that comes close to this one in terms of brand value, in terms of hype around both of these teams coming into the season, in terms of expectations year in and year out for each program. Okay, Michigan won the national title 2 years ago. You don't think they want to win another national title? Yeah, they do. It's been 15 years since Oklahoma's played in a national title game. You don't think they want to get back there? Okay, Brent Venables has been a disappointment so far, but there are expectations this year. You have to win at Oklahoma. You have to do it, Brent. A lot of things to talk about for this game. It's a top 20 matchup. Game day's going to be there. Unfortunately, Lee Corso, he will not make the trip. We need to figure something out. We need to get Lee Corso there. Pretty much everybody who is worth something in the college football space will be there. We may be in attendance. The Ian Fritz Show may be. We are thinking about it. We are trying to make it happen. If you know anybody that can make it happen, let me know, and we will make it happen. Sharon Moore, coming back to his alma mater. Some of you are thinking, didn't he go to Michigan? No, this man, head coach of the Wolverines, he went to OU. He was an Oklahoma Sooner. Now, does that make him, is he going to try and beat Oklahoma this weekend? Yes. And I think some people may think that is a little sacrilegious. Trying to beat your alma mater is what it is. I'm in the camp of you never try to beat your alma mater. But you are the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. They do want to win a national title. You have to beat Oklahoma to win a national title this year. We're jumping right in. Fun little note here. 2 Blue Bloods. This is only the second time they've ever played. It was back in 1970-something. Oklahoma won 14-6 in the Orange Bowl, I believe. So it's crazy these two teams have only played one other time in the history of college football. Glad it's happening this year. Glad it's going to happen again next year at Michigan's place, okay? I will try to be there for that one, no doubt in my mind. Without further ado, we will talk about the visiting team first, the Michigan Wolverines. I have some definitives, some things that I think are definitely going to happen, and then I have a question or two for each of these teams. So we'll start with the things that I think are definitely going to happen for the Michigan Wolverines and then to the Oklahoma Sooners. First up, Michigan Wolverines. What do I think is definitely going to happen? I think they're going to control that line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. I think they will have the better unit possibly on both of those. But either way, even if you are controlling it, you are winning the line of scrimmage. You are winning the line of scrimmage. I think they will win the line of scrimmage battle. They do it in virtually every single game they play. They have NFL dudes, NFL bodies at every position, offensively, defensively, all across that line of scrimmage. They continue to recruit well, and they develop even better. I thought they would lose a step on the defensive line. You lose Kenneth Grant, you lose Mason Graham to the NFL and those interior defensive tackles. I'm thinking, Michigan, no way, they reload. Watching that New Mexico game, I know they're playing New Mexico. However, you can still see things. The guys that got on the interior are I'm not going to say they're as good as those two guys, but they are quality defensive tackles. Michigan reloaded. I think the line of scrimmage will be theirs in this football game, especially if we saw Oklahoma do again against Michigan what they did against Illinois State on the offensive line. OU may be in for a long night, so I expect Michigan. I think that will definitely be something that happens, is them controlling the line of scrimmage offensively against OU's defensive line and defensively against Oklahoma's offensive line. Now, offensively, is it going to be a bunch of jumbo sets from Michigan? Are they going to try and run it down Oklahoma's throat? I don't know game plan-wise. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on in those meetings. I would think they're going to try and protect Bryce Underwood in this football game. Brent Venables, veteran coach, veteran defensive coordinator, one of the best in all college football. He knows what he's doing on that side of the football. If you're Sherrone Moore, you got to protect your young quarterback. This guy, I'm at the point in my life where I'm starting to be older than all of these players. There are still a few stragglers in there in college that are the same age or a little older than me, but the majority of them way younger. And it's weird. And Bryce Underwood is one of those guys. This is a teenager we're talking about here. He is a teenager, and he is coming into the Oklahoma Sooners stadium, and he's going to try and win. If you're Sherrone Moore, yes, he's super talented, uber talented, number one recruit in the country. You got to protect him. You got to protect him. And maybe I'm way off base with that, and Sherrone Moore thinks, I don't have to protect him. He's a dog. He's going to go out there and get his. We will see. We will see. The second thing I think that Michigan will definitely have happen in this football game is the defense is not going to give up a lot of points. They're just not. They're always solid there. They've been a top 10 defense in the last 4 or 5 years in college football. They will not let OU score a bunch of points. Now, they may let them move the ball up and down on the field. We saw that from New Mexico. New Mexico got up and down the field a little bit on Michigan. They had some plays pop for 20, 30 yards, okay, on the edge of that defense. But what they do is they don't break when you get into the red zone. When you get across that 50-yard line, Michigan says, no, okay, all right, we'll start trying now. We will start trying to play really, really good defense. I expect the defense to be solid. It will be solid. That is the second thing that will definitely happen for Michigan, is that defense is not going to allow a lot of points. The biggest question for me from Michigan in this football game is, Bryce, I'm talking directly to you. Everybody else can listen in, but this is a one-on-one with me and Bryce Underwood here. Me and Bryce, okay? Can you handle the pressure? Look, it's going to be there, okay? I'm not sugarcoating anything, Bryce. There's going to be a lot of pressure from your coaches, from the people around you, from your teammates, even if they're not saying, hey, pressure's off you, we're going to take it off you, we are going to be a good team. Yeah, they may be saying that, Bryce, but what they're thinking is, man, there's a lot of pressure on Bryce today. This is speaking in Saturday's terms. There's a lot of pressure on Bryce for this game against Oklahoma to perform well, to go out there and live up to the hype, live up to the expectations that he has brought in, live up to that gazillion-dollar check he got to go to Michigan instead of LSU. There's a lot of pressure on Bryce Underwood. Is he able to handle it? He looked good against New Mexico. That was New Mexico. That was at home. That was in a comfortable environment. This is the first time he's ventured out into deep waters. Is he going to get dragged below the surface and drown? Or is he going to soar? Okay? What is Bryce Underwood? What are you going to do? What are you going to do in terms of handling the pressure? It makes me kind of think about Nico last year when Nico made the trip to Norman, Oklahoma, when the Tennessee Volunteers, okay? Nico didn't look comfortable in that game. Josh Heupel knew he didn't look comfortable, and he took some things out of his hands. Now, the good thing for Tennessee was Oklahoma was inept offensively last year, just brain dead. It was not good offensively from Oklahoma last year in that Tennessee Volunteer game. I don't think it's going to be like that this year. I think Oklahoma's got a quarterback on their side. We'll get to them in a second. But it is a little reminiscent, whatever that word is. It gives me a little remembrance. Little thoughts going back to that Nico game in Norman, Oklahoma last year. He was this highly touted guy. He's the greatest thing of all time. Nico is the best. I believe it was Tom Fornelli said he was going to be the next Caleb Williams, the greatest college football quarterback of all time. And look, Nico, we have some issues. So is it going to be more like that, or is it going to be a shining star moment for Bryce Underwood? Okay, how do you handle the pressure? That's my biggest question. If he handles it well, Michigan goes in there and gets a win. If he doesn't handle it well, it could be a long night for Wolverine fans, okay? Oklahoma Sooners. The number one thing that I think will be evident, will definitely happen in this football game for the Sooners, they will blitz defensively. They are going to come after Bryce Underwood. They are going to throw a lot at this guy in terms of blitzes, schemes, pressure looks. What are we doing up front? Oh, there's only 3 guys on the line of scrimmage, and everybody else has dropped back. This has got to be a 3-man rush. Here we go. Okay, I'm Bryce Underwood. I'll figure this out. No. There's 3 guys on the line of scrimmage. Everybody else dropped back. Boom. Brent Venables brings 8. Yeah, stuff like that. Unpredictability. That is what Brent Venables is going to throw at Bryce Underwood, because that's what you have to throw at an inexperienced young quarterback playing at your stadium, okay? You have to throw a lot of different looks at him, make him be uncomfortable, and blitzing and getting pressure on the quarterback is going to be the way to do it. And Brent Venables knows that. I'm not some wizard saying, "Hey, Brent, you need to put pressure on the young quarterback today." Okay, I know Brent Venables knows that because he is an excellent, one of, if not the best in the business at making young quarterbacks uncomfortable. So that is the number one thing they will do, and I think they'll do it through blitzing. They'll do it through a variety of ways, but blitzing is the number one thing I think they will do it through. They will come after Bryce Underwood, and if they don't, well, I think they've made a mistake. I think they have made a mistake. The second, they could also caveat here. They could also drop everybody in coverage and just rush 3 all day. I don't think that's going to be the way to do it against Michigan's offensive line. However, they could do it, make Bryce Underwood throw through some windows on some man coverage, zone coverage, whatever it might be. I just don't think that's going to be the way Brent Venables is going to do. He's going to bring some pressure, and he's going to bring it quickly. I would think first drive of the game, maybe second drive of the game, let him feel a little comfortable, make him feel, all right, hey, this is easy, Brent Venables' defense. No. It's coming, Bryce. You got to be prepared for that. Second thing, John Mateer will play good football on Saturday night. I'm expecting it. I think it will be a definite, okay? This will definitely happen. Now, in terms of good, it's all relative. What does good mean? Is good 350 yards passing and 4 touchdowns through the air against a team like Illinois State? Yeah, that's good. Against a team like Michigan, it could be 220 yards, 1 touchdown, and then he adds 50 yards on the ground with another touchdown. That could be good enough against this Michigan Wolverines defense. That could be good enough. Whatever it might be, the metric will be we will leave this game on Saturday night saying John Mateer played an excellent game of football. I'm expecting it. It will happen. Biggest question for Oklahoma in this game, offensive line. Have they figured out how to run block? Have they figured it out? If any of you watched the Illinois State game, not many of you did. I'm not surprised. I watched every second of it because that's what I do, okay? The offensive line had some major, we'll throw another one in there, major flaws blocking in the run game, okay? They were getting no push. They weren't moving dudes at all, and these were Illinois State's defensive linemen, okay? Now, maybe Illinois State comes in here and is just the greatest defensive line in the history of the FCS. I tend to think that is not the case. That is not the case. It may be the case, probably not. So I'm concerned. That's my biggest question. Can you move these Michigan defensive linemen off the ball and create some space for your running backs, for John Mateer in the run game? That's my biggest question. Have they figured it out? Have they figured out how to move people off the ball? I'm leaning towards no. Now, the pick. Who will win this game? I think Oklahoma needs this win more than Michigan does. Look, you got a true freshman quarterback. You're going on the road again in a hostile environment. Oklahoma needs this one more. It's at home. You got a veteran quarterback. Brent Venables is going to be fired if this season doesn't go well. Oklahoma needs this one. I think they get the win. Give me Oklahoma to beat the Michigan Wolverines at home Saturday night. Everybody needs to watch this game. Going to be a phenomenal football game. Probably on the lower scoring end of things, just like all the marquee matchups were in week 1. So give me Oklahoma to win that one. Next game up, we have the Kansas Jayhawks at the Missouri Tigers. And you're thinking, this is the game? Ian decides the preview. This is the game? Are you sure? I am sure. Look, state v. state. Okay, I love a state v. state matchup. Oklahoma, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State. Look, anytime state schools go up against each other, I'm all for it, even if it's 2 different state schools. Look, the Jayhawks. Again, we're going definitives, questions for each of these teams. The thing that will definitely happen for the Kansas Jayhawks, got 2 of them. First one, Jalen Daniels will ball out, okay? I'm expecting big things from Jalen Daniels, and some of you are thinking, Ian, no. Jaden Daniels plays for the Washington Redskins. He's never played for the Jayhawks. If you are unplugged with college football, thank you for watching. 1, not sure how you found this video. 2, Jalen with an L, Jalen Daniels, Jalon Daniels. Guy has been at Kansas for what seems like a decade now, and he is an absolute stud of a quarterback. He can run, he can throw, he can break down the defense, he can fit it into tight windows. He knows what he's doing, and he's been there long enough to know this system, know these guys, and know what his head coach, Lance Leipold, wants him to do. Okay, he will have a great game. Try to say similarly. Okay, that's a tough word to say, ladies and gentlemen. I would just pause this video, sit there and say similarly. Okay, and if you do it successfully, congratulations, you're better than me. Similarly to John Mateer, coming out of that game, we're going to say John Mateer had a great game. I think we're going to leave this game and say Jalon Daniels played a great game of football. Will definitely happen. The second thing, Kansas will be a disciplined football team. They're on the road, hostile environment, semi-hostile up there in Columbia. It's not the toughest place to play, but, they're not just going to let you win there, okay? They're just not going to let you win there. A couple years ago, I believe, Kansas State went up there to Missouri, had a chance to win. They were winning the entire game, and then sure enough, this man, Missouri's kicker, forget his name, Mevis, I believe, big dude. You would think he's not a kicker. Clearly, he's been eating. Big dude. He comes in there and nails, I believe it was a 60-yard field goal. Maybe it was something 58, something like that, and Kansas State walks out of there with a loss, okay? Could we have something like that on our hands? I don't know, but what I do know is that Kansas, as a football team, they will not have a lot of penalties. They will not make a lot of mental mistakes. They're going to be a well-coached, disciplined football team because Lance Leipold, that's what he expects, and that's what he's got every single year. He's been there as the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. They're disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're sound. They take the football game seriously. Each individual player knows what they're supposed to do. They're where they're supposed to be. Now, talent-wise, yeah, they're a little deficient in some areas, but they play with their minds, okay? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They will be disciplined. I don't expect a lot of penalties. You would think on the road could be some penalties flowing. I don't expect that from the Kansas Jayhawks. Biggest question, is the defense good enough? Is it good enough? And maybe that's the wrong question. Is the defense, does it have to be good enough for them to win this football game? Is the offense for Kansas that good against this Missouri defense that it doesn't even matter what the defense looks like from a Kansas Jayhawks perspective? But I lean towards the offense is going to get stopped a couple times against this Missouri Tiger defense. So can the defense stop Beau Pribula and that Missouri Tiger offense, okay? Does it have to be good enough? I'm leaning towards, I think it's going to have to make some stops to win this football game for the Kansas Jayhawks. That's my biggest question for the Jayhawks. Moving over to the Tigers of Columbia. Definitives. First one up. They will get after the quarterback, okay? I just said Jalon Daniels, he's going to have a great game. We're going to leave the game saying Jalon Daniels played great. I think we're going to leave this game saying Missouri's defensive line, defense as a whole, they got after the quarterback. They may have not gotten home a bunch. They may not leave the game with 6-7 sacks. They may leave with one, but you will leave saying, whoa, look at those dudes. Look at those dudes coming after the quarterback. They were in the backfield the entire game. Second thing that will definitely happen for the Missouri Tigers. Beau Pribula, quarterback, will run the ball a lot. Okay, I'm expecting a lot of quarterback run from Mr. Beau. Or Mr. Pribula, I should say. And I'm expecting it to be well done, okay? He knows how to run the football. He is fast. He may not be the most dynamic thrower, but the kid is an athlete. He is an athlete, and he is fast. He is quick. Missouri is going to run Beau Pribula a lot in this game. I'm expecting upwards of 10, 11 carries for him in this football game. Biggest question, can the defense contain Jalon Daniels? I just said Jalon. Freudian slip. I mentioned how it wasn't Jalon Daniels earlier in the episode. And I just said Jalon Daniels. Can they contain Jalon Daniels? Dude likes to get out of the pocket, make some things happen, make some magic happen. Can Missouri contain the quarterback? They've done a brilliant job of that the past couple of years under Eli Drinkowitz, containing mobile quarterbacks. Can they do it again in this football game? We shall see. Who will win? I think this is a tough one for me. I love Jalon Daniels. I love Lance Leipold. I just have a hard time believing they have the talent on the offense and defensive lines to beat this Missouri football team. Give me Missouri to win. I think it's going to be a close one, but give me the Tigers. Next game up. Here's one that you probably expected. Iowa at Iowa State. Cyhawk battle. This is one of my favorite games to watch every single year. I think the color matchup is really good. And some of you are thinking, these colors stink. I like these colors. I like these colors, and I like the uniform matchup. It's fun. It's awesome. Cyclones, Hawkeyes, cool mascots. It's always a fun game. and there's always something weird going on in this football game, so you better be expecting that on Saturday. This has nothing to do with either team, but something funky is going to happen in this football game. I don't know what it is going to be. It could be somebody throwing a frisbee onto the field. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. Maybe a dog runs onto the field at some point. Something weird is going to happen in this football game. It may not even be football related, but something funky is going to go on here, okay? Maybe it's 2 blocked field goals. Maybe even just 1 blocked field goal. That's an odd thing to happen in a football game. Something weird is going to happen in this Cy-Hawk battle on Saturday. Be prepared for that. My definitive for the Iowa Hawkeyes. A lot of questions for Iowa this year. I only have one question, one definitive, but I could have a million questions. But we only have so much time. The defense is going to be good, okay? The defense is going to be solid. They may let Iowa State score here and there, but they're not going to give up 40 points. They're not going to give up 30 points, I don't even think. And this is a really good Iowa State Cyclone offense. So if Iowa ends up giving 30, 31 plus, then I think we need to start saying some things about Iowa State and start getting comfortable with them being in the college football playoff, okay? If they're able to put 31 plus on this Iowa Hawkeye defense that is always solid year in and year out. My biggest question, Mark Gronowski, is he good enough? Transferred in from an FCS school, quarterback. He's definitely better than the quarterbacks they've had there in the past. Is he good enough for the Cy-Hawk battle? Iowa's won it with worse quarterbacks, but I think the team they're going up against this year is not the same Iowa State. I picked Iowa State to win the Big 12. They were my pick. Is Mark Gronowski good enough in this football game? Is he making the right throws? Is he not making mistakes? Okay, this is his first battle against Iowa State. He's not been in this environment before. These two teams take this thing seriously. This is a big time rivalry in college football. Mark, do you have what it takes? I've seen him do some athletic things. He's an athlete. He is an athlete. You can't deny that. But is he a good enough quarterback on the road to beat the Iowa State Cyclones? We will find out on Saturday. If Iowa wins this football game, I think we leave saying Mark Gronowski is a very solid quarterback, good enough to take Iowa places that they want to go, okay? Flipping over to the Cyclones. My definitive. The home field advantage will play a major role in this game. There could have been more definitives, but I took what some people may think is a definitive and turned it into a question. So we'll get there in a second. But home field, I expect some penalties from Iowa on the offensive side of the offensive side of the ball. I expect some good things from that crowd to affect maybe a missed field goal here or there, whatever it might be. The home field is going to play a role in this football game for the Iowa State Cyclones. Now you're thinking, Ian, what is that so profound? It's not that profound, but it's a definitive. I know it's going to happen, okay? That's the point of the definitives, is it's going to happen. My question that some people may think is already true, is Rocco Becht that guy, okay? I believe in Rocco Becht. He was my Heisman dark horse at the beginning of the season. I said it in all my preseason videos, Heisman dark horse, Rocco Becht. He is living up to that right now. Can he go out there and do it against an Iowa Hawkeye defense? Can he go out there and do it against an Iowa Hawkeye defense? If he can, he may be that guy, okay? THAT, all capitals, okay? Rocco, I believe in you. Please do it so we can answer this question once and for all, and I can stop getting clowned for saying you were my preseason dark horse Heisman, okay? But right now, he's living up to it. Who will win this football game? I picked them in the preseason. I'm picking them again now. Give me the Iowa State Cyclones to beat the Iowa Hawkeyes. Next up, we have my game picks. Last week was tough, folks. Week 1, the gut was rusty. If you're new here, I only pick games based on my gut instinct, what my gut tells me to do against the spread here. The gut had an offseason, okay? Just like all of these football teams, the gut had an offseason. We're back. It didn't have a fall camp. No fall camp. I need to start doing a fall camp, is what I'm learning. But we're jumping right back in. You can't be discouraged. You just gotta figure it out. And the gut is feeling really nice right now. It is feeling really nice. Without further ado, Illinois at Duke. Give me the Duke Blue Devils +3 in that one. SMU at home against the Baylor Bears. Battle of Texas. Some Texas schools. Texas has about 1 million schools, but this is a battle of some of them. Give me the SMU Ponies -2.5. The gut was a little queasy on that one, but it kept telling me Mustangs. It kept telling me that. Now, do I believe it? I'm not sure. But you don't go with what you believe. You go with what the gut says, okay? Instincts, folks. Penn State didn't cover for me last week. I think James Franklin knows that, and he's frustrated with that. They will cover the 41.5 this week. I already told you Iowa State, and I think they cover the 2.5. Indiana, I need them to bounce back and cover the 34.5 here against Kennesaw State. I think they will do it. I don't think they will do it. The gut is telling me that's my instinct. My instinct is they will get it done. Kent State Golden Flashes, one of the worst football teams in all of college football, heading to Lubbock, Texas. Texas Tech scored on every possession last weekend. I expect them to score on every possession again this weekend. Would be shocked if they didn't. Give me them minus 47.5. That one is subject to change. Okay, that one is subject to change. Baron Morton injured. If he doesn't play, I may change that one. The gut doesn't know about injuries. It just knows about gut. Okay. Texas at home against San Jose State. They'll bounce back. Don't expect that one to be close. Minus 36.5. It's free money there, folks. I honestly believe that. Florida State at home against East Texas A&M. No line on this one, so it's Florida State straight up. You can't bet it, but we pick it. That's why it's game picks, not bets. But you can also bet this because we are up a lot in the history of this show. Utah State at Texas A&M. It's Texas A&M minus 29.5. They'll bounce back against that shaky showing against a good UTSA Roadrunner program. Ole Miss at Kentucky. This was an interesting one. If you remember last year, Kentucky beat Ole Miss, and Kentucky was one of the worst teams in all of college football last year. They stunk. Okay, so can Ole Miss go up to Lexington and beat this Kentucky team? Yes, they can. And I think they'll beat them handily. Okay. Next up, Austin Peay, Georgia. East Tennessee State, Tennessee. Give me Tennessee. Grambling State at Ohio State. It's Ohio State. Oklahoma State at the Oregon Ducks. Okay. Mike Gundy's coming out with commercials now. Credit to Mike Gundy. It was a very funny commercial. Advertisement for Consumer Cellular. Free ads here on the Ian Fritz Show. Oregon minus 27.5. This, I would never think in a million years to Power 4 programs, that's the line in this game. But it is. It is. I think the talent gap is that significant. Give me the Oregon Ducks minus 27.5. I think Dante Moore's going to throw for 350 yards in this football game. Clemson at home, minus 32.5. They bounce back against Troy. Troy's a solid football team, but I think Dabo's going to have those boys ready to roll. USF Bulls at Florida, minus 17.5. I have seen a lot of picks, a lot of upset picks. Hey, watch out, USF Florida. Sound the alarm bells. This could be the week Florida goes down. It's week 2, folks. It is not the week Florida goes down, and it does not even come close. Give me Florida minus 17.5. I picked USF last weekend. I like their quarterback. In fact, I love their quarterback. However, I think Florida has the defense, the speed defense to corral him and get him on the ground. Okay, now he does have some Cam Newton-like qualities, so that may be an issue. And if he goes out there, Byron Brown, if he goes out there and has a day against this Florida Gator defense, I will say I'm wrong. I don't think I will be. I think he's going to have a nice day, but it's Florida. Give me Florida minus 17.5. Bethune-Cookman at Miami. Give me Miami. Side note here. Bethune-Cookman may have the worst logo in all of everything, in the history of everything. This might be the worst logo I've ever seen in my entire life. It stinks. What is that? It's a jumble of jumble, okay? South Carolina State at South Carolina. Give me the Gamecocks. Arizona State heads to Mississippi, heads to cowbell territory. Jeff Lebby, how long is his leash? We don't exactly know. Is he going to get this done? When Arizona State beat Mississippi State last year, people were up in arms. Arizona State stinks. How did Mississippi State let this happen? Oh my goodness, everything's wrong. Arizona State made the playoff last year, and they give Texas a run for their money. They were a solid football team last year. They're good again this year. However, the gut is telling me take Mississippi State plus 7, Ian. Do it. And I'm doing it. I am doing it. Now, they may not win, but I think they cover the 7. It will be closer than a lot of people think. Michigan at OU. I already told you OU's going to win this one, but I like Michigan plus 5.5 there. If it gets down to 4.5, I'd probably take OU there, but give me Michigan at Oklahoma there plus 5.5. Last 3 games in the top 25. It's Utah, it's LSU minus 37.5, and then Alabama, they bounce back minus 36.5. I know it's a lot of points, but they bounce back. Next up, voicemails. Brandon from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Going to take a sip here. If you want one of these mugs, let me know. We're shipping one as we speak. to a man in Texas. Okay, we're shipping this. This is for real. This is for real. You're thinking, Ian, you're making all the. No. One is being shipped. One is being shipped right now. Let me know if you want one of these. We will get it to you. Email in the comments below, and we'll get it to you. That's really good water. Really good. Instead of a voicemail, this one is actually an email. We will have a phone number down there below that you can do a voicemail to. Voicemail box, whatever you call it. And we also have an email that you can email to. This one is an email from Brandon. He lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He says, Hotty Toddy. Brandon from Chattanooga, Tennessee, 5'5", 155 pounds, slot receiver. My question has nothing to do with my Rebels. Is Kalen DeBoer 2 losses away from being fired? Thank you, Brandon. Interesting that you live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you are an Ole Miss Rebels fan. I would be interested to see how that works out there for you. I'm not sure in geography terms how close Chattanooga is to Knoxville, but doesn't matter for this question. He asked about Kalen DeBoer, 2 losses away from being fired. We already know they're 0-1, lost in embarrassingly fashion to the Florida State Seminoles. 2 losses. It depends, Brandon. It depends on who the loss is to, obviously. I'm leaning towards yes. I'm leaning yes. However, if he goes out and loses to number 1 Georgia and number 2 LSU, I don't think so. Now, if he gets to 3, I think he's definitely out. If it's 8-4, he's out of here. If it's 9-3, depending on who the losses are to, he may stay, but I'm leaning yes. He's got to get it figured out or else he's gone. He has got to get it figured out or else he is gone. Thank you, Brandon. Again, leave an email down below or send an email to the email listed in the description or a voicemail. Call in and we will have you featured on the show. Next up, I told you earlier in the show, blank of the week. Upset alert of the week, Illinois. I believe they're 12th in the AP poll, 12th or 13th in the AP poll right now. The Fighting Illini need to sound the alarm bells wherever I believe they live in Champaign, Illinois. Sound the alarm bells, Illinois, Fighting Illini. You are heading to enemy territory. A man named Darian Mensah. I am picking Duke to beat Illinois. I have them +3. I also think they will win outright. Sound the alarm bells, Illinois. You need to be aware. Darian Mensah is going to end your dreams this week. He is going to crush the Fighting Illini. Upset alert of the week, Illinois on watch. I think it's going to happen. It may not happen, but it will be close if it does not. That is the upset alert of the week/weekend. Thank you so much for watching. That is the week 2 preview. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe down below, comment, send an email, send a voicemail, like this video, whatever, all the stuff. But subscribe. I love you guys. Bye.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
45, 40, 45, 50, 45.